Fishermen in coastal areas often use primitive wooden boats to go out to sea to catch squid. One of the most popular seafood, they often prepare carefully before the trip. From checking their nets and fishing lines to stocking up on fresh water and food for long days at sea. The wooden boats are small, but with experience and courage, fishermen are ready to face big waves and strong winds to search for areas with squid. Night is the best time to catch squid, because the lights from the boat can attract the squid to gather. Fishermen will use nets or squid fishing, thanks to their boat control skills, sensitivity and extensive experience. Sometimes, they have to go hundreds of nautical miles from shore, on voyages lasting from several days to several weeks. Life at sea is not only a job, but also a journey to face nature. Fishermen always pray for calm seas and calm skies so they can return with boat holds full of fresh squid, bringing them home to feed their families and providing valuable seafood for the mainland. When dawn breaks, the primitive wooden boats return to shore with the hopes and expectations of the fishing families. The boat holds, if lucky, will be full of fresh squid, the result of many nights of hard work at sea. Although the fishermen's lives are hard, they are filled with pride in their attachment to the sea and the work passed down from their ancestors. For many fishermen, squid fishing is not only a way to make a living, but also a deep connection with the ocean, where they find the value of labor and life. The wooden boats are simple but strong, like the spirit of the fisherman, resilient and persistent. Each time they go out to sea is a new challenge, but also an opportunity to explore the richness of the vast ocean. Upon arrival on land, the squid will be sorted and processed. Some of the squid will be sold at the market, while the rest will be dried, made into dried squid or processed into other products. Fresh and delicious squid is not only the main source of income for fishermen but also an attractive specialty, bringing the flavor of the sea to many meals everywhere. Life attached to the sea is like that, both simple and full of difficulties and challenges. However, for fishermen, the sea is always a source of life, a place where they find joy and satisfaction after each successful trip. Fishermen in coastal areas use rudimentary wooden boats to go out to sea to catch shrimp. One of the important sources of seafood, wooden boats, although small but durable, have been associated with their lives from generation to generation. Before going out to sea, fishermen prepare necessary equipment such as ropes, nets and other supporting tools. Particular, long nets are an important tool that helps them catch a significant amount of shrimp. Each trip out to sea usually lasts from a few hours to a whole day, depending on the location and the amount of shrimp caught. Usually, fishermen will go in small groups, working together to drop and pull the net. As the boat moves, the long net is dropped into the sea, creating a large underwater coverage area. Thanks to boat control skills and extensive experience, fishermen can accurately identify areas with a lot of shrimp living. Shrimp fishing with nets requires patience and dexterity, after the net has been dropped long enough to collect shrimp. fishermen begin to pull the net onto the boat. This work is very hard because the net is often very heavy, especially when full of shrimp. Every time the net is pulled up, the fresh shrimp sparkle under the sun, bringing joy and hope to the fishermen. Despite facing many challenges from harsh weather to rough seas, fishermen still persevere with their work. Their livelihood depends on the sea, and each trip to sea is a journey facing nature. They always pray for safe trips. Boats full of fresh shrimp returning, bringing income to support their families and contributing to the local seafood market. After each return trip, the shrimp will be classified and sold right at local fish markets or traders. For fishermen, it is not only a way of life, but also a pride in their traditional profession, along with a love for the sea and a life at sea. The primitive wooden boats and long nets will continue to be their companions. Helping them overcome the storms and reap the rewards from the blue sea. When the primitive wooden boats dock after each trip, the small harbor becomes bustling with laughter, the sound of pulling the nets and the sound of water lapping against the sides of the boats. Fresh shrimps dance in the nets, reflecting the shimmering light under the sun, marking a successful trip. This is a happy and satisfying moment for fishermen after long days of hard work at sea. After being harvested, the shrimp will be classified right on the boat, based on size and quality. Large, healthy shrimp will have higher value and will be sold immediately to traders, restaurants or local fish markets. Fishermen sometimes also keep a portion of fresh shrimp to make food for the family, or process into traditional specialties such as dried shrimp, salted shrimp. The life of shrimp fishermen using primitive wooden boats is always closely linked to the sea, with unpredictable ups and downs and difficulties. Every time they go out to sea, they have to face the challenges of nature, such as sudden storms, big waves, or even the scarcity of shrimp resources when the marine environment changes. However, with their love for the job, perseverance and belief in the sea, they still stick to the sea, continuing their journey to make a living. The sea is not only a source of life but also a place to nurture the love and attachment of generations of fishermen. The rustic, simple but resilient wooden boats have helped them overcome many fierce waves, becoming a symbol of strength and endurance. Fishermen, despite the hardship, are always proud of their work, a long-standing traditional profession, bringing precious values to coastal life. Although life at sea is difficult, it is full of hope. They not only catch shrimp but also catch dreams of a brighter future for their families and children, to continue to maintain the culture and traditional values that have existed for generations. When the sunset falls, the primitive wooden boats lie still on the harbor, resting after a long day drifting at sea. Fishermen now gather with their families, talking about their trips, difficulties and harvests. Their lives are closely tied to the sea, with trips to sea not only for a living, but also for pride and responsibility to maintain the traditional profession of their ancestors. ancestors. Each trip to sea is not simply a journey to find shrimp and fish, but also a battle with nature. The vast ocean is sometimes gentle, but sometimes fierce, bringing with it big storms, making the work dangerous. But it is these difficulties that have forged the resilience of fishermen, helping them to constantly overcome challenges. These men with sunburned skin and calloused hands always keep in mind their love for the profession and hope for the sea. The development of technology and modern fishing boats may bring convenience, but for many fishermen, the primitive wooden boats and long nets are still loyal friends, symbols of tradition and identity. They feel attached and familiar with the traditional way of working. Where personal experience and skills play a decisive role in the success or failure of each trip. The life of fishermen is a series of days of constant effort and hope. After each trip to sea, they not only bring back fresh shrimp and fish, but also carry with them the belief that life will be better. Their children will have the opportunity to study, their family life will be full, and the fishing profession will be passed on to the next generation. Every time the boat returns with a hold full of fresh shrimp, the family is filled with joy. Fishermen prepare for new trips, continuing their journey to conquer the sea and maintain their traditional profession. The small wooden boats and long nets seem simple but contain the strength of the human heart, of faith and perseverance in the face of vast nature. The nights before going to sea, fishermen are always busy preparing everything carefully. They check the boat, patch the long nets if there are any tears, prepare drinking water and food for the long journey. Careful preparation is not only to ensure safety, but also to believe in a lucky trip. Families often gather to see the fishermen off to sea, sending their best wishes and hoping that the boat will return with holds full of shrimp. As the sun rises from the horizon, the primitive wooden boats quietly leave the dock, heading towards the vast ocean. The sea breeze blows, carrying the salty air and scent of the ocean, making the fishermen even more excited. They row their boats further away from the shore, where the shrimp schools live. Fishing begins as soon as they drop their long nets into the water, waiting for the shrimp to swim into the net. At sea, fishermen work tirelessly. They rely not only on luck but also on their understanding of the water currents, the weather, and the life cycle of the shrimp. Each movement of pulling the net must be quick and decisive. There are times when the strong waves make pulling the net difficult. But they persevere and do not get discouraged. Each shrimp caught is the result of their efforts and resilience in facing the ocean. For many fishermen, the ocean is their home, the place they have been attached to all their lives. Although the work is hard, for them, each trip to sea is an indispensable part of life. They not only catch shrimp to survive, but also nurture a passion and intense love for the sea. The simple wooden boats, the simple long nets have become symbols of the work. Spirit of perseverance to overcome difficulties. Even though life has changed, even though there are more fishing boats are more modern. But the image of fishermen catching shrimp on small wooden boats is always imprinted in everyone's mind. They are the symbol of a life attached to the sea, of constant effort, of love for the profession and love for the sea. And when the boat docks, the bright smiles, the fresh shrimp in hand are proof of the resilience and spiritual strength of the children of the sea. The nights before setting out to sea, fishermen are always busy preparing everything carefully. They check the boat, patch the long nets if there are any tiers, prepare drinking water and food for the long journey. Careful preparation is not only to ensure safety, but also to believe in a lucky trip. Families often gather to see the fishermen off to sea, sending their best wishes and hoping that the boat will return with a full hold of shrimp. As the sun rises from the horizon, the primitive wooden boats quietly leave the dock, heading towards the vast ocean. The sea breeze blows, carrying the salty air and scent of the ocean, making the fishermen even more excited. They row their boats further away from the shore, where the shrimp schools live. Fishing begins as soon as they drop the long nets into the water, waiting for the shrimp to swim into the net. At sea, fishermen work tirelessly. They rely not only on luck but also on their understanding of the water currents, weather and the life cycle of shrimp. Each net pull must be quick and decisive. There are times when strong waves make pulling the net difficult, but they are persistent and undaunted. Each shrimp caught is the result of their efforts and resilience in facing the ocean. For many fishermen, the sea is home, the place they have been attached to all their lives. Although the work is hard, for them, each trip to sea is an indispensable part of life. They not only catch shrimp to survive, but also nurture a passion and intense love for the sea. Simple wooden boats, simple long nets have become symbols of the spirit of work, of perseverance in overcoming difficulties. Even though life has changed, even though there are more modern fishing boats, the image of fishermen catching shrimp on small wooden boats is always imprinted in everyone's mind. They are symbols of a life at sea, of constant effort, of love for the profession. And the sea. And when the boat docks, the bright smiles and fresh shrimp in hand are proof of the resilience and spiritual strength of the children of the sea. After each arduous trip at sea, the primitive wooden boats return to the dock, bringing not only shrimp and fish but also joy and hope. As soon as the boat docks, the atmosphere at the port suddenly becomes lively. Women, the elderly and children from fishing families are waiting to help unload the goods. The cheerful laughter blends with the sound of the waves, the sound of the net and the sound of the boat engine. The fresh shrimp, just taken off the boat, are quickly sorted by fishermen according to size and quality. Large shrimp are often expensive, and are purchased by traders right at the dock to bring to wholesale markets or for export. Smaller shrimp are sold to restaurants, or kept for processing at home. Many families take advantage of small shrimp or shrimp to make dried shrimp, an indispensable specialty in many coastal families. Each successful trip to sea not only brings income to fishermen but also creates jobs for many other people in the fishing village. Women in the family often take on the job of drying shrimp, making dried shrimp or processing shrimp dishes to sell at the market. Meanwhile, traders quickly purchase and transport shrimp to other regions, contributing to boosting the local economy. Although the lives of fishermen are still difficult and face dangers from the sea, the joy of seeing the boat holds full of shrimp is the motivation for them to continue to stick with the profession. They understand that the sea can bring both challenges and opportunities. Fishermen always live with optimism, trust in the sea, and hope that the sea will always generously respond with big shrimp harvests. Each time going out to sea and returning is a cycle of life in the fishing village. The boat goes out early in the morning, when the sea is still calm, and returns when the sun sets. The evening light shines down on the sea, illuminating their sunburnt faces, highlighting the harshness of life at sea. But in their eyes, faith and hope always shine. The wooden boats, though primitive, are forever a symbol of perseverance, endurance, and an indispensable part of the lives of fishermen at sea. When the rustic wooden boats return to shore, the fishermen not only bring with them products from the sea but also the